A two-time All-American, Irene Schickhardt earned third-team status in 2006, and in 2008, she became one of only 5 Eagles to ever be named a first-team All-American. Schickhardt helped lead AU field hockey to 4 straight Patriot League regular season titles, tournament championships, and NCAA tournament appearances. From 2006 through 2008, Schickhardt was named to both the Patriot League First Team and All-Region First Teams each year. In 2008, she was named both the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year and the Patriot League Scholar Athlete of the Year. She ranks second at AU in career scoring with 50 goals, 42 assists, and 142 total points, and is a member of the Patriot League 25th Anniversary Team. A winner in every sense of the word, tonight we celebrate her induction into the Pop Cassell Hall of Fame. And now a coach who is very familiar in this role, as his AU teams have won 11 Patriot League titles and earned 19 All-American awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AU field hockey head coach Steve Jennings.
There are some people in the world you can never forget. We have phrases to help us explain these rare individuals. They have the it factor, a magnetic personality, or a certain je ne sais quoi. While Irene Schickhardt had all of these and more, the one thing everyone who has met her remembers is her smile. It is a smile our staff first encountered when she was traveling from her native Germany to visit college campuses and field hockey programs throughout the U.S., from Michigan to New York to D.C., by herself. That she would be doing this alone, navigating a foreign country while assessing the academic and athletic merits of a decision affecting the rest of her life was what we all came to learn, a very uncommonly common characteristic of Irene. Over her 4 years at AU, there would be many uncommon, common occurrences. Was it normal that the mailman would wait in the dorms to personally deliver the mail to Irene? Or that years after graduation, she could walk in completely unannounced, past a scrambling secretary, into the office of the dean of SIS, who welcomed her back enthusiastically, regardless of what was on his schedule. Or that despite speaking 7 languages, she was barely accepted into AU, but ended up graduating with a 3.5 cumulative GPA while earning a double major in international studies and economics with a minor in mathematics. I would call all of these and many more abnormal moments completely normal for Irene. Irene came in and made an immediate impact on a team that was poised for greatness. We had been building and building, and in 2005, her freshman campaign, we were set to return back to campus after the construction of our very own turf field. In the team's first game at home in over 5 years, Irene scored in the first 24 seconds, despite the fact that the opponent started the game with the ball. We would go on to win that game, and nearly all the rest with a 20-2 record, with our only losses to the eventual national champions. She would propel us to a number 4 ranking in the nation, a league championship, and a trip to the Elite 8 in the NCAA tournament after defeating Big Ten champions Penn State. But the classic story for Irene from 2005 is not that she was our second leading scorer, but in a game against league opponent Holy Cross, where we were playing terribly, she rescued us by scoring 2 goals to force overtime, and then the game winner to escape with a dramatic victory. The reason for her outburst, she confided to one of our assistant coaches, was that she knew if we lost, that I would make the team practice on Sunday, and she had too much homework to do. Sometimes it's great when the student athletes don't actually know the NCAA rules, because we wouldn't have been able to practice anyway. On the field, Irene was a game changer. Fast and skillful with the ball, she had the amazing combination of being equally adept at scoring and making an assist. Somehow, the ball always found her. Even in training, she seemed to demand and get the ball more than any other person. She had poise and unconsciously knew how to threaten the opponent with both power and finesse. She also had the mentality of a winner and the elite ability to take over the game. In her senior year, with our team staring at a 3-5 start, we switched her to the role of corner hitter several days before our league opener. We had tried her in this role in the spring, but it had never really clicked. I half told, half asked her, "You know how important this is, right?" And she responded, "I got it." The next game, she had a hat trick and an assist to lead us to victory, and we would close out the year winning 10 of our last 13 contests. In the classroom, she was a star too. The essence of Irene can be found not in her grades, but in her desire to be challenged and to master material. She took the hardest classes and was motivated to learn, not just getting an A. The best illustration I can share tonight is from when she took the most advanced math class that we offer at AU. She was struggling, and the normal avenues for help were not working. There were no tutors who could teach the subject because it was past their level. Her professor was unwilling to engage her with office hours, and she fell behind despite hours and hours of dedicated work. What was she to do? She decided to walk down the street to Georgetown University. There, she wandered around until she found the math department. After searching for someone to talk to, she finally shouted out in an open office setting, "Can anyone here help me with my math class?" After a period of silence, a spectacled, bearded reed of a man stood up and said, "I can help you." They met, and Irene explained her problem. He agreed to help, and they walked back up Foxhall Avenue to AU that day before diving into her book, starting with chapter 1, page 1. Every day he came to campus, and they would study endlessly. In the end, she earned above 100% on her final exam and got an A, much to the surprise of her incredulous professor. Another uncommon moment for Irene. Over her illustrious career, we never lost a league game and won 4 Patriot League championships. Irene would go on to be a 2-time All-American, including a first-team All-American in her senior year. She was a 4-time regional All-American, a 4-time All-Patriot League selection. She was the Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year and the Patriot League Scholar Athlete of the Year in 2008. And she was honored as a member of the All-Patriot League 25th anniversary team. She is second all-time in points still in our field hockey program with 142, and is still fourth in all-time goals with 50. Most importantly, as a person, Irene is filled with warmth. All of us who have gotten to know her feel so lucky for the honor of her friendship. She is a light in the world and a great ambassador for AU and for AUFH. On the day of Irene's graduation, she earned the Stafford Cassell Award, an honor that goes to a senior at AU who best exemplifies the traits of Stafford Cassell. Total, selfless dedication to the university, profound energy, reliability, intellectual curiosity, friendliness, and helpfulness. I know your dad would have loved Irene, as well as we all do, Jack. And I know that he would have been thrilled to welcome her into the Hall of Fame which bears his name. Will you all please help me congratulate the unforgettable Irene Schickhardt on this incredibly well-deserved honor.
So first of all, thank you, Steve, very much for this very warm introduction. I don't think I can follow with this because my speech is far not as good. But I'm very honored to be introduced into the Hall of Fame at American University today. But I'm standing here today knowing that I could never have achieved this alone. Instead, it has been a team effort. Hence, I think it is time to say thank you. First, thank you to American University, to the athletic department, and to AUFH for providing me an environment and spirit that welcomed and embraced me, but also pushed me to always work hard on the field and in school. This environment was not only supporting me because the setup helped me to combine school and field hockey, but there were many people adding small and big pieces to the picture. They include Maureen, who took time to read my papers, which was a really, really hard task, especially at the beginning. My first papers did not even have any corrections on them. They just had question marks at the side. And that's the worst. These little helps also included someone like James, being always at the sideline and always smiling and just giving this attitude of being part of something. I could go on, but I just want to thank you for providing me that motivating environment. Then, thank you to all the teams and all the teammates I played with throughout the years. Being part of a team was always the most important to me about playing field hockey. Thank you to Steve for making me choose AU, for realizing that I was still a little older, that I was already a little older when I came, and for giving me the freedom that I needed. Thank you for accepting that I didn't come first and foremost to play field hockey, but to study. Thank you for not telling me, no, don't do it, when I came to your office and told you that I wanted, sophomore year, I think, that I wanted to add the minor math to my majors in Econ and IRR, but you just said, think about it. But you didn't say, no, don't do it. So thank you for always seeing the person and not just the player. And thank you for always having an open door so that I could always step in and talk to you about whatever I wanted. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for being able to not be a coach, but also a friend at once. Thank you for all your support, for having a great sense of how I was doing, and for always picking me up when I was down. I still remember when you brought me to the hospital for my shoulder surgery, and I was really lonely because my parents were not there, and you somehow got it done that I wasn't scared at all. Thank you. Annie is not here yet, but she was German. I just want to say thank you, Annie, for showing everyone that all the weird things about me were not German, but they were just me. Thank you, Aaron, for becoming my first friend at AU. Thank you for always being there with you, for me, and for letting me into your family. I know that would have never been possible if you wouldn't have wanted it. Her parents couldn't join us tonight, but still, thank you to Cheryl and Michael for having me at their house and for treating me like their own daughter. Thank you, Linda and David, for always supporting me, for having me at your house over Eastern. But first and foremost, thank you for supporting me that Katie became my friend. Now, Katie, our first year at AU, we might not have even spoken more than 5 sentences because we were both so consumed with our own problems. But then you asked me to become your roommate, and all started. Thank you for all the little things that you made for me, waking me up every morning, making me a Nutella toast, and walking up the hill with me without talking a word, and I didn't have to feel weird about it. Thank you for making sure that my bag on road trips were always perfectly packed and I had everything with me. I would have forgotten everything, but she made sure I had everything. And thank you for just accepting me the way I am. Thank you for how much she took care of me. I had to realize when I moved back to Berlin, and I lived alone, and the only person who really knew me by name was the keysmith, because I always forgot my keys. Because being here, she always was around me somehow, and she had the keys, and we were roommates, so I never had a key. And it was really strange when, like, I walked through the street and the keysmith would be, "Hi, Irene," and I was like, this is bad. So thank you, dear, for being my friend, for being my maid of honor, for visiting me all the time in Germany now, and for being the person I trust my son to and trust my son to, besides my family and childcare. So last, I want to say thank you to my parents, who always supported me in whatever I wanted to do. So as you can see, many people and many of you have contributed to me standing here. So thank you.